Welcome to Healthcare Entrepreneur Academy, where we seek to educate, motivate, and inspire professionals into starting their own healthcare businesses. Learn from leading healthcare entrepreneurs and other business experts as they share their journey and provide a glimpse into their playbooks for success. Loaded with valuable insights and actionable strategies, this show will guide you on your path to freedom. Now, please welcome your host, entrepreneur, healthcare practitioner, and MBA, Jason Duprat.
This episode is sponsored by my free presentation for the Ketamine Academy. If you're tired of long hours, constantly being on call, or having to give up your nights, weekends, and holidays, all for an employer that only thinks of you as a productivity number that they're trying to maximize, then it's time to break free from the hospital grind, become your own boss, and finally take control of your professional trajectory. It's time you start your own practice. I know it sounds really scary, maybe even a little impossible. I get it. You got student loans, you're working tons of hours, and you may not even be a physician. Well, I am here to tell you that it's absolutely possible. Starting my own clinic was exactly how I started my healthcare entrepreneur career, and there's one specific type of clinic that almost anybody can open. Ketamine therapy is one of the most promising treatments in the fight against depression, PTSD, and chronic pain that we've ever seen. And thousands of patients across the country are looking for clinics in their area. The problem is that there aren't enough yet, and these patients need someone like you to open a ketamine practice in your hometown. Go to ketamineacademy.com/presentation for a no-cost 60-minute training on how to gain more freedom by opening up your own clinic. On the presentation, you'll discover why opening your own private clinic is a better decision than working more overtime or going back to school for another degree, why this one specific niche clinic is the easiest to open and doesn't require a bunch of cash to start, and how anyone can open this type of clinic, even if you're not a physician, by just following a few simple steps. So to register for this free training, just go to ketamineacademy.com/presentation. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Healthcare Entrepreneur Academy podcast. I am your host, Jason Duprat, and we are back here for another Tactical Tuesday episode where it is just me, you, the microphone, and I share a little bit about what we're learning in our business or our masterminds or our courses that might be able to help you in your business. And if you're wondering why my voice sounds a little funny, it is because I am getting over a cold. Possibly I have corona. Who knows? It seems to be going around everywhere. The World Health Organization, I believe it was as of the date of this recording, which is March 11th, declared this as a pandemic, interestingly enough. But anyways, lots of interesting stuff going on there as it relates to the economy and the coronavirus. But that is not why you guys tuned into the show. So I'm going to get right into it as far as what our Tactical Tuesday episode is, which is all about raising your prices or raising your rates. When you should do it, why you should do it, and how you should do it. And a lot of people, especially as a service provider, have a major problem with undervaluing the services that they provide. And it's something related to, it's actually a psychological phenomenon known as imposter syndrome. And this is where it's a psychological pattern where somebody doubts their own accomplishments, their own knowledge, their own skills, their own value, and as such feels like they are defrauding people for charging too much for their services or telling people about their area of expertise or providing advice. So in an effort to help you avoid suffering from imposter syndrome, because if you are a service provider and you are creating some sort of educational product or consulting or whatever your service is, you are obviously providing value. And over time, you are getting better and better as you get more experience at what you're doing. So you need to raise your prices. Absolutely. 100%. You should always be raising your prices, and you should do it fairly frequently. Because over time, as long as you are continuously learning and getting more experience and adding more value to the end user, adding more benefits, adding more features, adding more better service, more knowledge, then you deserve the ability to be able to charge more for that. And that is true of any service business or even product business. If your product is getting better and better over multiple iterations, then you need to raise the prices. Your prices as a business owner are going to keep going up. They always go up. Just the cost of inflation alone is somewhere around 2 to 3%. And so I think that you should consistently be raising your prices to at least make up for inflation. And so there's two schools of thought when it comes to raising your rates. And a lot of times what is going on nowadays is that I hear a lot of, gurus or coaches telling people to just go out and double your rate because they are automatically under the assumption that everybody suffers from imposter syndrome and that everybody's product is phenomenal and great and everybody deserves to create a high ticket service or product. I am not a big fan of that. There's certain people who can just go out and double the rate. Those that have massive followings, those that have true level of expertise. But typically those people too are not, once they reach that level, they're not the type who undervalues their products or services. But that's one method, is just to go out there and double your product price. I feel like that's taken a lot less easily by consumers. And so I would really caution you to think twice before doing that. And your product better be your product or service, absolutely stellar if you just go out and flip a switch and start doubling your price, because that's going to turn a lot of people off. And hopefully, if you're going to do that, you have a massive following, because you're probably going to lose some of your biggest customers or fans by doing that. So the other option is to raise your prices slowly and steadily. In most situations, this is probably, the way most, there's no definites in anything, but this is probably the way most should go, is raise your prices slowly and steady, anywhere from 5 to 15% per year. And I think that would be taken much more lightly to your existing customer base than just flip of the switch next day, doubling your price. There's certain situations where doubling your price is worth it. If you provide literally twice the amount of value, then you should double your price. But you shouldn't just wake up one night because your guru or your business coach says that you should double your price, unless they are really intimately familiar with exactly your industry, your niche, your product offers, what your competitors offer. I wouldn't just take that as a grain of salt to just double your rate. I think in general, the best way to do it is to increase your prices. Obviously, your costs are going to be going up every single year. The cost of all of the products and services you use as a business go up every year or every 2 years. My prices on everything are constantly increasing. The price for our course hosting is going up all the time. The prices for the courses that we take to learn and get better with our online marketing or our course development, those prices keep going up. The cost of employees and contractors goes up every single year. The cost of the benefits go up. Everything's going up. So if you get into this rut of not charging more for your product or service every year, and you go, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the road and don't have any price increases, you're going to have to make a large price increase to stay profitable. And at that point, you're going to be almost in the same boat as doubling your rate the next day. So slow and steady in most cases is the best way to go, anywhere from 5 to 15% per year. And just need to make sure that obviously you're delivering tons of value, tons of end user value, and that your customers are getting a good product and a good service, and nobody's going to complain. It's not a big deal to take your service rate, say it's $100 an hour, and increase it to 105 or 110, because people can wrap your head around it. The consumer, whoever was buying your product or service, can wrap their head around, okay, it was $100 last year, now it's $110 this year. That's a really easy jump. But if you were to go from $100 to $200, that's a lot less palatable. And so when you are going to raise your rates, one thing too that you want to keep in mind is that sometimes it's good to offer a grandfathering clause or a grandfathering discount, in that you're giving your current customer base a long heads up that the price is going to be increasing, so that they don't feel like you just threw it on them at the last second. So if you're going to be doing a price increase, whether it's a steep one or a steady one, you should always make your clientele, your customers, aware that a price increase is coming well ahead of time, and even consider grandfathering them in. So if somebody has been a customer for a while, you might consider giving them an entire year heads up and say, hey, you've been a valuable customer, so we're going to keep you at the same price for this year. But just to let you know, next year or next price increase, you won't be grandfathered in anymore. And that way they have a large large heads up, and that can sometimes be received much more favorably. But anyways, guys, I hope you get some value out of this. Hopefully that provides a little bit of insight into raising your rates, and definitely don't be afraid to increase your price, or you will at some point regret it, because you will ultimately go out of business because you have to make a profit. And if your costs are going up, your prices need to go up. If you guys have not already joined the Healthcare Entrepreneur Academy Facebook group, then I would highly encourage you to join that group. There's tons of conversations going on in there, and I'm in there almost every day. So feel free to tag me with any questions or anything. I'm happy to provide any advice or insight as I can. Lots of our former guests are in there as well. So just really encourage the interaction and posts in that group. To find it, you'll go to the Facebook, and in the search bar, you can just type in Healthcare Entrepreneur Academy and click the groups button, and it'll show right up there. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we will catch you on the next episode, if hopefully Corona doesn't kill me by then. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Healthcare Entrepreneur Academy. Want to connect with more like-minded healthcare entrepreneurs and professionals? Just head over to jasonduprat.com/group to join our Facebook family for real-time interactions, insight, and resources to get you one step closer to realizing your goal. We look forward to interacting with you, but until then, we'll catch you on the next episode of the Healthcare Entrepreneur Academy.